I said, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
And there you go.
There's one here, though, that fried burger. Right? Why is that nuts?
Just watch out for the screen. There you go. All right. What I have to talk about now isn't a matter for praise. When you meet together, you make things worse, not better. What I mean is this. To begin with, I hear that when you come together in the assembly, there are divisions among you. Well, I believe it, at least partly. It's inevitable that there will be grouping among you. That's how the genuine ones among you will stand out, I suppose. So when you gather together into one meeting, it isn't the Lord's Supper that you eat. It isn't the Lord's Supper that you eat. Everyone brings their own food to eat, and one person goes hungry while another gets drunk. Haven't you got houses to eat and drink in? Or do you despise God's assembly and shame those who have nothing? What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you? No. In this matter, I shan't. So, as you see, it was ancient practice in the day that you'll invite poor people to your house, and you will have a glorious meal with your high aristocratic friends.
Yeah.
And while you give the poor the scrap food.
And that's not right.
Yeah, that's not the practice of.
That's wrong. No, it's wrong.
Yeah, it's people. When we take communion in the Lord's body, everyone should get their helpings. Everyone's equal around the table. We don't do anything to separate the most honored and less honored. Everyone is equally honored. And then honoring Jesus' work. The school groundsman was working to get so after this, just know that we'll have time for one allotment, then we'll have to go, okay? The school groundsman was working to get the sports field. Oh, it was those during especially when you and Asen were playing yesterday, Broken Bones. You guys just get loud. It's at that time I put the headphones on, and that's when I could hear you. Even when I had it that low, I could still hear you with the headphones.
Well, I too loud.
The school groundsman was working to get the sports field ready for the big match the next day. The same pitch had been used for both hockey and football, and he needed to be sure that it was now marked out afresh with the right lines for tomorrow's football game. But early on, he made a small mistake and crossed from one line to the other. His eyes were so firmly fixed on the ground ahead of him, marking the line straight, that he didn't realize. Only when he had finished and stood up and looked at the whole field did he realize what he had done. He had rubbed out the lines he should have been drawing more clearly. He had drawn more clearly the lines he should have rubbed out. Paul now has to tell the Corinthians that if they have been blurring the lines between male and female, which should have been clearly marked, in another area, they were marking out clearly a line which should not have been obliterated together. When they are coming together to celebrate the Lord's meal, the supper or Eucharist, they are reinforcing a social distinction which has nothing to do with God's intention in creation, and nothing to do either with God's achievement of salvation through the Messiah. This is the division between rich and poor, which ran like an ugly line through ancient society, as much as in our own, if not more, and which threatened to deface the very celebration at which the church's unity in the Messiah ought to have been most apparent. He begins as in chapter 1. By commenting that there are divisions among them when they meet together. He isn't surprised at this. He says there are bound to be different groups within the church. It isn't clear whether he intends verse 19 at face value or whether he is speaking sarcastically. It has often been taken as a serious comment, in which case he means that, whether we like it or not. There are some in the church who are genuine Christians and some who aren't, and the genuine ones will seek each other out. But I'm inclined to think he means it sarcastically. Oh yes, I'm sure there are parties in your church. After all, you'll want to make sure the really important people stand out, won't you? This does not, in other words, look like a comment on the same parties and groups that he was talking about in chapters 1 through 4. It's a wry statement about the sort of divisive attitudes he might have known he could expect from people of the sort that the Corinthians, under their oh so wise leaders and teachers, were in danger of becoming. The present problem was coming to light when the church met for the particular act of worship which Paul refers to here as the Lord's meal, or more literally, the meal that has to do with the Lord. If it wasn't for this passage and the next one, in verses 16, 17, 21, chapter 10, wouldn't have known anything about past views on this meal, or even that his churches practice it. But what he says here reveals that the Lord's meal was a central and vital symbolic action in the churches he founded, based on traditions going back to Jesus himself, and already carrying a substantial and serious theological meaning. In almost all churches today, the Eucharist has remained central. Do you hear that? So Eucharist communion in all churches. So even in the early church, Eucharist, the communion, is like the central part of the gathering. And these passages are our earliest written witness to what was believed and taught about it. The Gospels, though telling stories about Jesus himself, were almost certainly written down sometime after Paul's letter. Of course, Christians have developed different names for this meal: Holy Communion, the Mass, the Lord's Supper, as well as Eucharist. These names all have their place and point, but if we become divisive over them, we miss exactly the point Paul is making. When you go to church today for this service, you almost certainly won't get a whole meal. The normal practice for centuries has been to provide a token or symbolic meal, a small piece of bread or wafer, and a small sip of wine. In some churches, only the clergy drink the wine. But to begin with, as with Last Supper itself, the meal took place in private houses, not in a special church building, and there was a full meal served, during which special words were said over a particular loaf of bread and a particular cup of wine. The problem in Corinth was that this full meal had become a sign of the social division that ran through the church. Imagine going on a picnic. So here, imagine this. You ready? So this is how they're practicing it if we try to do it in modern time. Imagine going on a picnic with a large group of friends. Suppose when you get to the picnic spot, some people get out elaborate hampers with expensive cutlery. So think of like what's the most delicious food you can think of, like large fat pieces of steak and glass, and serve themselves delicious and lavish food and fine drinks, while other people sitting alongside them have brought a couple of small sandwiches and a bottle of water. So it's like right next to me, I'm having this delicious steak.
5-star steak.
Yeah, and like you're sitting right next to me.
And now I have is a sandwich and bottle of water.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
Well, can you imagine? Like, and this is for Jesus.
yeah, it's not for us.
Even at a picnic, that wouldn't seem right.
Yeah, you're right.
How much more when you're meeting for worship and the people you're with are not just friends, they are your brothers and sisters, members of your family, because all those who belong to the Messiah form a single family. Do you know that? Everyone who clings to Jesus are called family.
Yeah.
So it's like sharing a meal. When you share communion, you're sharing a meal with family.
Yeah. Even though you don't know this.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good reason to get to know them. You're like, hi, family.
That sounds wrong.
As a need, as Paul will shortly explain, a single body, one goes hungry while another gets drunk. Is that really an expression of what God's people actually are? This problem will have been reinforced by social customs of the time. Many rich people in the ancient world prided themselves on showing hospitality to those less well off, but they often did so in a way which let the others know they were inferior and even made them feel ashamed. Sometimes they had a small man dining room for themselves and their closest friends, where excellent food and wine would be served, in another room or sequence of rooms with food and drinks of poor quality. It seems that in Corinth, the rich hosts whose houses were large enough for a Christian meeting were continuing this social practice at the Lord's Supper itself. Paul sees this as doing two things. First, it shows contempt for God's church, God's assembled people, regarding this assembly as a mere convenience, a point at which one's own spiritual and social advantage may be furthered, but with little significance beyond that. Second, it shows not just contempt for those who have nothing, but actually whether intentionally or not, a desire to put them to shame. Rich people, alas, are all too often ready in little ways or great to send a signal they are a superior form of human life to the poor, when often it is the merest accident of birth or of being in one place at one moment rather than another that has brought riches to the one and poverty to the other. Paul will go on in the next passage to explain more about what the Eucharist actually is and why such a behavior is completely out of line. So that's exciting. So tomorrow,
Science.
we're going to learn what the Eucharist actually is. Paul will explain more about the Eucharist, the communion
No,
is.
you literally spoiling.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. Oh no.
But already we should have food for thought about the church's life and its meaning for worship. We don't usually have services at which a whole meal is served, and if we do, we normally make sure everyone has the same. But do we have other ways in our church's fellowship and assemblies in which we allow wealth and poverty to send the same signals that they send in the rest of society? If so, what are we going to do about it? And that's a good ending, NT, right? And we can start.
That is actually super good. That actually looks like whiskering. And that's a warning before you play. Warning before you play perfect story. Story, Alex. Immediately discontinue.
All right, take care of this before you start.
Oh.
And make sure to super hydrate up because those nuggets are salty.
Do this. Salty wonky. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get out of here. Guys, there's animals and I'm like, nope. I'm really doing this. Hello.
All right. What? Investigate the Allery. Oh, yes.
Revelio.
Okay, wow. Show off. Okay.
Revelio.
Mm.
Yo, the ability of backs. I got it. Oh god. Get grabbed, bro.
Revelio.
You kidding me?
The statues Mr. Ollivander mentioned must be upstairs amongst the owls.
Now you made me angry.
Revelio. Don't mind me, Els. I'm just here to help a friend. Juice.
Okay, yep. That's what I'm getting.
I recognize those handles. The summoning charm should do the trick.
Look what I did. I made everything
Empty pouches.
blue.
Could be the right size for jackdaws. Or statues of jackdaws.
Okay, let's find Stars Coast.
Accio! I'd best keep looking. Nothing. This'll do nicely. No statues here.
I'm the only one with a Kraken sword. Have fun.
Revelio. Accio!
Have fun.
Here's a welcome surprise.
Maybe that. Okay, wow. Wow, show off.
Revelio.
No way he can talk to you. Whack this one. Whack. Have fun.
Oh,
Grab you.
Accio.
Have fun.
Revelio. Birds aren't afraid of heights. Perhaps I should look a bit higher.
Okay, yeah. Nope.
Accio. I'll take that, thank you. I'd best keep looking. Nothing. No statues here.
Okay, you have to attack me. Hey, get him!
Levioso.
Get it? Okay, wow, show off. How?
Accio.
How did I? Now I'm dead.
I'd best keep looking. This'll do nicely.
Okay, wow, show off.
Here's a welcome surprise.
No. I do not want
so
that. Okay, wow, noob.
A map. It doesn't
Yeah,
appear
I
to be
can
connected
see.
to the missing pages. Best hang on to it. Nothing. Accio.
Okay, well, have fun. Sail away.
No statues here.
Hey, you can get me.
Revelio. What's happening?
I can't even keep up with me. I'm just gonna do my own thing.
Could it be? Has someone solved my puzzle after all these years? Well done indeed. Good news. If you've got something to hide, you found the perfect spot. Richard Jackdaw, at your service.
The Richard Jackdaw. So Mr. Ollivander was right. He wants his family wand back.
Goodness, I'd forgotten about that wand. I assure you I don't have it on me. I'm almost certain I dropped it the moment I was beheaded in that cave. Oh, it was sheer folly to follow that map.
What map?
Ridiculous, really. Found it on some yellowed old pages Peeves had pilfered. Thought I could impress a girl. But that's a story for another day.
So you stole a wand and then followed a map on some pages that you took from Peeves and followed that map to your doom.
Odd to hear it all reduced to such absurdity, but yes. Why do you care about some old wand?
I don't really. Ollivander does. It's the pages I'm after. Might they be with the wand in the cave?
Indeed. Say, here's an idea. Why don't you meet me at the edge of the Forbidden Forest? I'd be happy to show you where to find them.
How is it possible to steal from Peeves, a poltergeist?
I didn't steal the pages from his ghostly form. I merely found them in his wake of destruction. He's got a penchant for wrecking things. Books, bottles, suits of armor, whatever's likely to cause the most chaos. I doubt he even noticed they were gone.
If that's the only way for me to get those pages, I'll meet you there.
If you don't mind the sight of my decapitated skeleton, the wand and the pages are yours for the taking.
Revelio.
Please don't tell me. Ready? Will you attack me? Thank you.
I think that's supposed to be the Dark Forest.
Right.
Let's collect my stuff. Do, 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 do.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
I'll wait to have a look.
Revelio. Revelio.
I have tornado power. Good. I want to show you something that was in the movie. Actually in the movies, but I need to show you.
I'll say I don't think I've seen you watch any of the GPO stuff.
I just talked about it in general movies.
Oh.
It was in that duel.
Revelio.
You ready for this?
Oh yeah.
Ready? That's how you do it.
Revelio.
Buddy, mister, let me shock punch you.
handy resource indeed, your field guide.
Revelio.
Pleased to be included.
Mm-hmm. The Dark Forest. All right.
Oh, me daddy, no problem.
Lumos. Revelio. Lumos.
So fall damage is a thing. Okay.
Jore,
Hmm.
you know it's kind of funny. So you know Mika?
Mm-hmm.
He's been wanting this weapon, and I got it, and I wanted it. And he would want it.
Mm.
But he wouldn't.
You like the little competition between you and your brother, having things that your brother doesn't have?
Well, it's
Revelio.
Well, it's also just like, he's been wanting it too, and I'm out of legendary items,
Lumos.
except for these two legendary items, the Great Sword and my Kraken Ammo.
Incendio. Revelio.
Yo, the abilities on the Great Sword are actually amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Incendio.
Grab you. Yeah! Take this! Oh, I get eye, no problem. Great sword attack.
Needs to be nighttime, I'm guessing.
Alright, good. Did you find it?
Hmm. No, I looked and couldn't find him.
Incendio.
You have to switch
I just the thing is I don't remember his name. What is it?
Revelio.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented blue powder.
Is it through Black Forest?
Revelio. Accio. Incendio. Lumos. Revelio. Levioso. Accio. Lumos. Expelliarmus.
I always keep pressing that to switch. There we go.
Revelio.
No. It's a cool looking too, but it's not mine.
Revelio.
I would say that Irondale is not appropriately named.
Revelio. Revelio. Incendio.
No. No meat.
Revelio.
How dare you kill Jore?
You've had too much fire with you if you think you can outdo my I'll be carry the sack on that last raid.
Revelio.
Here I am, as good as my word.
We meet again, Richard Jackdaw.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised to see you. Only a Ravenclaw would travel this far in pursuit of knowledge.
Well said. Now, where do we go from here?
Follow me. I shall lead you as far as I can, but I fear I may remain a tad reluctant to revisit the scene of my demise. Keep your eyes open for a bird bath. When you find it, say intramuros. I think it's Latin. Or Greek. As you can imagine, I never paid much attention in school. Shall we?
Revelio. Aside from the bird bath, anything else I should look for?
Indeed. A few landmarks, a stone bridge, a waterfall, and, if I recall, a lake. You'll see.
You've been very helpful. Thank you. Revelio.
Surprising how much of this is, rather unfortunately, coming back to me. Yes. You know, the closer we get, the more I'm remembering. Probably best I leave you to it. Simply stick to the path and keep a sharp eye out for that bird bath. Adieu. Is that Latin? Or Greek?
Incendio. Levioso. Expelliarmus. Revelio. Incendio. Levioso. Expelliarmus. Accio.
Since they provide unlimited redos, I'll just keep on redoing without spending a
How
Tell
nice
potion.
to see you, my young friend.
Levioso. Accio. Expelliarmus. Levioso. Accio. Incendio. Incendio. Levioso. Expelliarmus. Accio. Incendio. Expelliarmus. Levioso. Incendio. Accio. Incendio. Levioso. Expelliarmus. Accio. Potato. Stupefy. Revelio. I think I'm all but keep going.
That's funny.
You think dying's funny?
Yeah. Despite those little guys, that's just the best.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Now it just ruins your love for
Nothing to do now but keep going. Protego! Revelio.
He's casting your favorite ability, Char Potato.
Incendio. Revelio.
Nothing to poach an arrow to. The poach an arrow to.
The waterfall. For a thief, Jackdaw's surprisingly as good as his word.
Is it feed a beast or is it I prefer the latter.
Revelio. Revelio. Accio. Levioso. Levioso. Incendio. Revelio.
You look like something. Hmm. I'll say hi to centaurs.
Revelio.
Yeah. Merlin's beard.
Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. Incendio.
Get more inventory space.
Incendio. Revelio. Incendio.
I'll do it in a certain order. Hmm. Need that ability. Okay. Hmm? Look up what? Oh, okay, yeah.
Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. Something oddly solemn about this place. Such regal creatures, stags.
Hmm. Well, now I go this way. I see.
it is. Just as Jackdaw described. Intramuros.
Oh gosh.
Yo, you almost died.
I know. It's like the wrong time to take a drink of water.
Heck! You are terribly outmatched. Surely you can see that.
Oh,
Always on Are you quite finished?
Levioso! Expelliarmus! Accio! No risk those loyalists will report back to Ranrock now. Let's see where Jackdaw has led me.
don't tell me what I can and can't do.
Revelio. I wonder how big this place is. Incendio! I can shoot the symbol, but it doesn't stay lit for long. I need to light all three before they time out on me.
That's what I did.
Impressive. That must be where all this leads. Someone didn't want casual visitors down here. I wonder if any of my spells will help me through this. Revelio! Bodega! Stupefy! 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 Levioso! Expelliarmus! Accio! Incendio! Revelio!
Sorry, what? G-A-U-N-T-L-E-T.
Revelio! I wonder if I can move that platform somehow. Accio! Levioso! Potato! Stupefy! Incendio! I'm glad Richard Jackdaw left a little something behind for me, but where could he be? Revelio. Accio. Protego. Stupefy. Levioso. Accio. Stupefy. Incendio. Stupefy. Stupefy. Another puzzle. Well, if Jackdaw could solve this, so can I. Accio.
Oh. Gotta release the spell. Alright. Let's begin.
Accio. Revelio. An untouched chest. Jackdaw wasn't very thorough in his search of this cave. Revelio.
Sally, I rolled garbage. Rolled a green. Come on. Bring me the legendaries. I demand better chest.
Incendio. Perhaps the next symbol is hidden somewhere. Levioso. Accio. Incendio. Levioso. Incendio.
Can I hit it up there? No.
Incendio.
It's like,
Accio. Revelio. Accio. Levioso. Revelio.
Oh my gosh. Here I thought I had to burn it. Like a silly goose. Overthought the symbols.
Revelio. Incendio. Accio.
Okay.
Revelio. Not a headless skeleton in sight. But I may as well help myself to this. Revelio. It's a good thing Jackdaw didn't fall down there. Accio.
Let's go, speeders.
Incendio. I'm glad Richard Jackdaw left a little something behind him, but where could he be? Revelio. Protego. Stupefy. Accio. Levioso. Incendio. Stupefy. Stupefy. Levioso. Expelliarmus. Revelio. Revelio. An untouched chest. Jackdaw wasn't very thorough in his search of this cave. Incendio. Accio. Revelio. Incendio. Protego. Stupefy. Expelliarmus. Accio. Stupefy. Levioso. Stupefy. Stupefy. Levioso. Accio. Incendio. Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. That's odd. I'd have thought Jackdaw would have been interested in this loot, but there's no sign of him. Accio. Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Accio.
What?
Revelio. I'm glad Richard Jackdaw left a little something behind for me, but where could he be?
Oh, time to go grind again.
Accio. Not a headless skeleton in sight. But I may as well help myself to this.
I need to grind 22
Oof. Oh, that's a sweet scar. There's a dragon on it. Oh, it's equipped.
Revelio.
Go grind again. Gain it. No hat. That was it.
Actually, totally rocking the hat. But I am going to go in my long johns. Oh yeah.
Maybe it's look like one of those like beautiful onesies.
Revelio.
The ultimate of wizard wear. Long johns.
Accio.
I think, yep, this will be going back. Yep, it's all been open.
Revelio. Whoa. Whoa.
Make sure there's nothing here. Okay. All right, let's get those shrooms.
Revelio.
What?
There it is. The bridge, it's almost complete.
All right, I missed something.
Accio. Revelio. An untouched chest. Jackdaw wasn't very thorough in his search of this cave. Accio. Revelio.
Oh.
What?
It's like I jumped off like higher places, but it's like right there. For some reason, it will kill you.
Revelio.
Go down, go down.
Okay, it saved before I looked at it, but I didn't go that
I'm
too far.
glad Richard Jackdaw left a little something behind for me, but where could he be? Accio! It's a good thing Jackdaw didn't fall down there. Accio!
Oh, nice. Yeah, so many times that you just remember it now.
Revelio!
All right. Let's go the proper way now.
Can you see what this is?
All right, let's just go back and go the proper way now. Be right there.
Accio!
You can't be kidding me. Yeah, man.
Revelio!
Oh, but it's 5 o'clock, my friend. All right, friends. Be back on later tonight. I'll see you then. Peace.